Chapter 1. It's Good to Be Home. Vice President Howard Porter, on his inauguration as president following the impeachment of President Walsh. My predecessor's involvement in the Shadow Coven and FOB Frontier scandals has shaken the public's faith in honest government, and rightly so. But this is no time to point fingers. Former President Walsh will have his day in court, and like all of you, I am looking forward to seeing the truth come out. Today is a day for looking ahead, for starting down the road to restoring the people's faith in their government, in matters of arcane security in particular. Today I recommit myself to enforcing the provisions of the McGower-Linden Act with total certainty, severity, and transparency. Swift eased up the hood of his sweatshirt and kept his head down. The crowds in the financial district were thick at lunchtime, hundreds of people with eyes on the pavement, on their way to grab cigarettes or food, or to run errands in the few precious minutes they had before heading back to their desks, the richest slaves in the world. Swift sighed internally. He'd never been comfortable among the corporate wage serfs who made up most of the city, but a big crowd was best. It was easy to get lost in the throng, one more data point in a stream, nothing to draw the eye. He felt his magical current thrumming. The scar of his ruined tattoo itched on his chest, an old reminder of older fights. He'd won them all and somehow still lost. His girlfriend, his baby were still gone, the man who'd killed them still alive. He'd had Harlequin dead to rights, had looked down the barrel of a gun straight into his old enemy's eyes. The moment had hovered, time frozen as Swift faced a pair of choices, each resulting in very different people. He'd let Harlequin go, watched him walk away, still breathing, and hoped the person he'd chosen to be was the better one. Even all this time later, he still wasn't sure. He moved through the crowd, keeping his elbows in, not wanting to draw attention to himself by shoving anyone out of the way. At last, South Ferry Terminal hove into view, the water of the bay sparkling beyond. Oscar Britton had wanted him to stay in the source, to build a new life in the Goblin Village. Swift had insisted Britton send him back. The Supernatural Operations Corps had taken everything from him, his life, his love. They wouldn't take his home. He'd found the broken remnants of the Houston Street Gang, the band of magic-using revolutionaries deemed criminals for their refusal to submit to government control. Criminals or no, they'd bloodied the government's nose for years until the SOC had replaced their beloved leader, Big Bear, with a monster. The deception caught them completely unawares, and the SOC had broken their spine, scattered them to the winds. The survivors spent the intervening months hiding in homes of sympathizers, trying to rebuild what they'd lost when Big Bear had turned out to be someone else. Months of jumping at shadows, of desperately hoping the SOC had bigger fish to fry. But Swift found time to come down to the water every day, to give himself a few minutes to look out over the glassy surface, to feel the breeze slide over his ears, whispering in his hair. Sometimes he imagined it was his girlfriend, Shy, speaking to him from beyond the grave. Of course, it wasn't all fun and games. Swift allowed himself a quick glance around to make sure no one was watching, then headed back toward the posts that ringed the entrance to the South Ferry subway station. He saw the can beside the third post, only got close enough to confirm it. Beer. Britton would be coming tomorrow. No can meant no visit. A soda can meant they'd been found out and had better run. Swift made a mental note to tell the others. Britton promised that the moment would be coming when they could finally step out of the shadows, live free and open, but each time he visited, the answer was always the same. Be patient. Wait. Things were taking time. Most of the gang worshipped Britton.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.